Hello lovelies, welcome to Narc Free Formula. My name's Freedom, thank you for joining me. So in tonight's episode I want to talk about something that the internet is on fire over. So I'm talking about the James Charles, Tati Westbrook and Jeffree Star, Gabrielle Zamora fiasco. I want to talk about it in the context of flying monkeys. So I need to put a disclaimer in. Firstly, I need to be really clear. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, saying that Tati is a narcissist or a sociopath or psychopath. But this particular incident has given me the opportunity to highlight how flying monkeys are created and, how that whole kind of setup occurs. So for those of you who don't know, you probably need to jump on YouTube and have a little catch up. This is obviously within the beauty community, but it's also within YouTube in general. And as I said, it actually highlights, the worst, I suppose, the worst part of celebrity, the worst part of this kind of status and cult, communities that have occurred. Let's get into it. All right, so the just quickly also, so we talk about flying monkeys and we also talk about the smear campaign. So I'm going to try and talk to those of you who don't know about narcissism but who have been watching this case, and I also want to talk to those of you who do understand narcissism. So let's talk about, first of all, what are flying monkeys? So a lot of you will recall the movie The Wizard of Oz. So the Wicked Witch of the West had flying monkeys, literally monkeys with wings, who she would say, "Fly, my pretties," and they would go out into the world and do her evil bidding. That is what we are referring to when we say flying monkeys. And what happens is they are someone that is living a false reality. So they're someone that the narcissist, or in this case, like I said, I don't want to call Tati a narcissist, but a lot of the things that she's done kind of plays out the way a narcissist would have played things out. Not diagnosing her. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I have not observed her enough to even make a comment on her, mental health status or her personality. This is just an observation of the way this whole thing has gone down. So the flying monkeys are, I'm looking down because I've got some notes here. The flying monkeys are someone who's viewing a false reality or narrative that has been set in place by the narcissist. And they're putting that forward as being fact. So Tati comes out with her story, presents it as fact, not opinion, fact. So flying monkeys are easily brainwashed and therefore easily manipulated into doing the narcissist bidding. So they will abuse you, they will spread lies and rumor and innuendo about you, and they will attack you, whether it's verbally, sometimes even physically. The flying monkeys, look, there's this kind of trickle-down effect, it seems, like the lower the IQ, the more likely you are to act out like a flying monkey. The less you think things through, the more likely you are to act out like a flying monkey. The less kind of discernment that you have, same again. So if you have kind of low integrity, if you love to gossip, more than likely you will act out like a flying monkey. So for all those people who watched Tati Westbrook's initial video, who then, with no evidence, no reply from James Charles, and from not knowing either of them, other than what people know about them from YouTube, people went into a frenzy, destroying their James Charles products. unsubscribing from his channel. The commentary was disgusting, like absolutely feral and rampant. People just lost their minds over something they know nothing about firsthand. Nothing. It was pure propaganda that got put forward. She gave no evidence whatsoever. She made some serious allegations. She hinted at other aspects. She just kind of didn't actually come outright and say it, but she hinted at it and she dropped a few keywords. And knowing full well that her doing it in a public place, as she did on the internet, knowing full well that people would, that the flying monkeys in the beauty community would do the rest of the work for her. So she literally just put it out there, and sure enough, they picked it up and off they went. They went gossiping, spreading lies. The story got bigger and better with every telling. And this is before James Charles even had a chance to respond. And then Jeffree Star got involved. So James came out and had something to say, and Jeffree Star had something to say. Thankfully today, I've got to say, I saw a video from Jeffree Star, basically pulling his head back and realizing that he has actually been acting like a flying monkey, realizing he's been talking about something that he didn't need to talk about. Involving himself in something that's not actually his business, and not fact checking. It's everyone's got a version of events, but if you don't fact check, if you just go on one side of the story, if you just go on the narcissist's version of events, then you're going to have a really skewed sense of reality. And this is why narcissists use flying monkeys, and this is why flying monkeys are so dangerous. So, just quickly bear with me while I go through my notes. All right, so narcissists will target a victim, then they'll start a rumor to attack their character and credibility, which is exactly what Tati Westbrook did. So, the comments that she was making, it started off being about money and her business, and she kind of couched it in the terms of, friendship and loyalty. But then she started throwing, a whole lot of veiled accusations, calling James Charles a predator, talking about disgusting behavior that made her feel sick. So leaving it to people's imaginations to run wild. So this is what a narcissist does. So they use a little bit of truth so that the story is believable, and then they expand upon it and add to the story. And this is how a smear campaign works. Starts off a little whisper to one person, like Chinese whispers, and then off it goes, getting bigger and better with each telling. Exactly what has happened. I mean, that woman almost cost James Charles his career, has cost him millions of dollars in lost income, and to be honest, I'm pretty sure it's defamatory, the stuff that she said. I mean, if I was James Charles, I would be actually having a chat with the solicitor, but that's just me. Anyhow, so she had her video where she put forth her version of events as the truth, and then fly, my pretties, fly. The internet went crazy. So with no evidence, people began smashing his palettes, unsubscribing, and more. And as I said, none of these people knew the truth. They hadn't even heard James Charles speak. And the thing is, even if Tati says one thing and then James Charles says another, the reality is that none of us know them. Just because we see them on YouTube, it doesn't mean that we know them. Obviously, Jeffree Star, getting involved. I mean, these guys know each other. They are friends. They are friends and colleagues. Well, at least they were friends and colleagues. I'm not sure if they're friends and colleagues anymore. But the way a smear campaign works is it's based on gossip, innuendo, lies, half-truths, distortions, and manipulations of the truth. And as you all saw, there was quite a few manipulations of the truth. There's ways that Tati said things that, she could have said it differently. The fact that James Charles had to come out and tell the whole world that he was a virgin today to actually prove that he's not a sexual predator, that's kind of really sad that he felt that way, and that he felt so persecuted that he was even feeling suicidal. That's the kind of problem with this flying monkey kind of scenario, is that because flying monkeys by their very nature are, like I said, they've got low IQ, they don't think things through, they kind of feel important having something to do with something really exciting. It's like, oh my God, I know something, I know someone, and so they kind of get themselves involved in things that really have nothing to do with them. And they don't have enough insider knowledge to even make a comment, and yet they do. So there's a saying about narcissists and psychopaths, and that is that when they can't control you, they will attempt to destroy you. So I'm going to spend some more time kind of researching this whole thing because, as I said, I am not diagnosing anyone. I'm not laying claim that anyone involved is a narcissist or a psychopath or a sociopath. But it does seem to me like a situation where Tati felt like she lost control of her protege, the person that she felt she built up so much. And instead of just bringing him up and speaking to him privately, she decided to start a rumor, put it out there, and just let the internet do its business. So she managed to almost destroy his career without getting one drop of blood on her hands. And that's how narcissists like it. They like it from a distance. They like to be able to witness other people tearing shreds off you. They like to be able to witness other people getting in a frenzy and attacking you. They like to see, because they actually kind of really get off on knowing that they're in the wrong, knowing that they are the predator and the abuser, but that people are so naive and so gullible and so easily manipulated that they have somehow managed to get them on side, and better than that, now they're attacking you, the victim. The narcissist absolutely 100% gets off on that. There is so much power behind that little kind of scenario. So my final point on this whole thing today is, as I said, Jeffree Star came out today with a video kind of stepping back from this whole thing. And I'm really, really glad to see that, because I think that Jeffree Star as a person has grown quite a lot. I do also think that he's very clever, and, he may be an evil genius, he may be just in damage control. But either way, I think that somebody needed to call an end to it. I know that James attempted to, then Jeffree said he was going to reopen the whole thing. But by the looks of it, he stepped back from that. But that doesn't mean that the damage wasn't already done. James Charles took a hit and none of it was necessary. He's not a huge sexual predator deviant the way he was made out to be. In actual fact, he's probably a really dorky 19-year-old virgin who is in the spotlight, who is figuring things out as he goes, who is making some mistakes because he's a little bit socially awkward, and he's a gay man in a straight world, and he's trying to figure himself out. I don't think that was worth the crime was worth the punishment that he got meted out by Tati. So, as I said, this is how flying monkeys and the smear campaign works. The narcissist or sociopath or psychopath gets to sit back and observe all the carnage, all the bloodshed from a safe distance, just as she did, just as Tati did, sitting back there saying, oh, I'm off praying for healing for everyone. So innocent, so genuine, so caring. And yet the entire thing was instigated by her uploading a video and her starting a smear campaign. Once again, one more disclaimer, just for those who missed the other two. Not saying that Tati is a narcissist or a psychopath or a sociopath. This is just an observation. This particular scenario gave me the opportunity to discuss how smear campaigns work and what flying monkeys are and why they are recruited and what they are recruited for. I think I got all that. All right, lovelies. Thank you for watching Narc Free Formula, and I'll see you guys not tomorrow but the day after. Bye.